Tell me this, are you a person that argues for or against what some might consider limitations? So I'm having conversations, and I have conversations with people all the time talking about what they want to do, their goals and their dreams. You'd be surprised how many people send me messages on Facebook all the time saying, I have a story to tell. Can you help me with this? I'm writing a book. What do I need to do with this? And all these things. And I start to pound out solutions because I'm a solution-based person. That's just how I've always been. That's just who I am. I'm always trying to figure out what one might call a problem or a limitation and how we can solve it. That's just my attitude about everything. So I have conversations and I'm pounding out all these solutions and ideas. And for every solution and idea that I give, a lot of times what I hear is why that particular thing doesn't work or how they've tried it already. And this is so common, especially when it comes to ailments, body issues and things like that, weight issues. I'll tell people, they're like, what did you do to do this? This is hurting on me and I want to fix this. And I'll say, hey, have you tried, taking a walk around a block once a day? That would be cool. And they argue for the fact that walking won't make a difference. I'm like, how do you know? You've never taken a walk. I just find that to be so interesting. And then also people are talking about finances and they're talking about money all the time. I don't get into conversations about anybody with money because I have a certain level of positive energy that I like to put into that direction. So if the conversation is starting to heading down the wrong road and starting to sound really limited when it comes to finances, I don't get involved. And sometimes I'll even say, hey, I can't have that conversation with you because I don't want any of that to enter into my space. And so I'll mention things like, well, have you read this book called The Science of Getting Rich? It talks about, how you can start attracting positive financial flow into your life and how you can start putting action towards your goals and all those sort of things. And they're like, oh, yeah. But I tried to read it and I got to the first paragraph and this or that. They said this and I didn't like. And it's always the same exact thing. So instead of accepting that there may be a positive side to what they're dealing with, they prefer to latch on to why it doesn't work and to hold really tightly to those, I call them lies that people tell themselves. So anything can get better. Anything can get better. If it can't be better in that moment, it can be perceived as better. So that's better than having something poor happening and you're perceiving it as poorly. So then you're just miserable all around. And when you have these conversations with people and you start giving them solutions and trying to figure out things and trying to help them, and you see them start throwing at you why everything you're telling them does not work, the best thing you can do is just say, okay. And it's no big deal because you realize it's not really your issue. It's kind of like what they're dealing with. You do your positive part and you share with them some things that might change or benefit their situation. And if they're arguing for the limitedness that they're seeing their situation in, then there's really nothing that you can do about it. So I just had to, put that out there today. I had to kind of discuss it because, over the past few weeks, I find myself in conversations and with other people, finding or being connected to people who are like-minded in that area, who don't argue for the limitations of everything, who are not automatically drawn to the negative side of things, who choose to see the world as something that's falling apart instead of something that is a beautiful becoming. It's not that easy. And so when I start to feel like I'm always defending a more positive point of view and a more positive side of things and a more positive mindset, I just kind of shut down. And I don't shut down in a negative way. I realize that I am breaking my boundaries and hurting myself with trying to help other people see things in a much better way. So I pull myself back out of those situations. And if you find yourself there too, pull yourself back because that's not your problem in a sense, right? If someone truly wants to change something and you're offering them positive solutions, if they truly want to see something more positive and they're choosing to see it in negative light and you're offering ways that they can see it in a positive light and they're not interested, you have to decide, do I want this energy right here in my immediate space? How is it affecting me in my daily life? It's making me be more skeptical. It's making me become more pessimistic. It's making me feel like all of my work that I do in a positive direction is not paying off or it's not working out. And I don't like feeling like that, because I know the things that I practice and that I do mean something, and that every day my life gets better and better. Every moment it gets better and better. Every interaction, every connection, every day I'm attracting beautiful and wonderful things into my space. And I don't like to be around any environments where I feel like I have to defend why I'm not interested in the news, why I'm not interested in anything that's anti this or anti that, why I'm not interested in anything that doesn't include all human beings on this earth, because I am human based. Human, then all the identities and labels that we have for ourselves are all under here for me. And so I don't want to explain that. I've made a decision on those things. I've made a decision to be a beautiful human and to respect everybody in my space at all times. And I don't want to have to defend those kind of things all day. So when people come in your face and you're trying to make them see positive perspective, or you're trying to make them see their own life from a positive point of view, or you're trying to give them a new language, you realize that it's not your responsibility to convince other people. When someone is ready to see their life or their circumstance or to improve it in a certain way, they're going to find it. And it's usually right underneath their nose, and it's always been there. But when you're not ready to see things, it's not available to you. So anyway, I hope I didn't go on too much of a rant. That's kind of just my thing. Positive thinking, positive thoughts, optimistic attitudes, no negativity, none whatsoever. And even when I find myself falling there for a second, it might be for 5 seconds before I pull myself back. And I see things as not exactly where I want it to be, as positive evolutions. They're evolving into where I want them to be. So they're not done. I don't have to get angry because this is like this or this is like that. It's evolving, and while it may not be where I want it to be today, it will be where I want it to be closer tomorrow, and it'll be even closer the day after that. And that's the way I kind of view everything in my life. So anyway, have a nice day. Are you arguing for or against your limitations? Think about that.